One argument used by the proponents of equality is that giving someone else rights doesn't take away any of your rights or affect you in any way. That is absolutely true in the legal sense, but is that completely true on more subtle levels? Another group gaining equal rights removes no legal rights from the group that already has them. However, it does remove certain social rights granted by the system from those people in more subtle ways. Number one, it takes away the rights to treat the group as a cheap punchline or bullying without social backlash. Number two, it takes away the right to be told you shouldn't take your privilege for granted, and the right to be oblivious to how lucky you are and have been compared to the outgroup with the same qualifications. Number three, it takes away your right not to hear negative things about the system you benefited from, and always viewed as the best, and to not just hear about your group in a purely positive light. And number four, it removes your right to hear political discussion and information that doesn't implicate your group. To a privileged individual who doesn't feel privileged through ignorance, the loss of those social rights can feel very real thanks to something called the hedonic treadmill. The happiness level in your brain will adjust based on your surroundings. Many marvel about how a person with constant chronic pain can still be happy. However, that can happen to any of us. It is how the brain is wired. The brain will adjust the level of dopamine after the loss of a certain pleasurable stimulant. If a person with chronic pain even temporarily has the pain lowered after so long, it feels like pure bliss. On the flip side though, the transition period to pain is incredibly rough. When you enter into the chronic pain, your hedonic treadmill hasn't adjusted at all. The pain is excruciating and you want to do anything to make it stop. Many try and dope themselves up with painkillers, however, since the hedonic treadmill never gets to adjust, they just have to take more and more to keep the pain at bay. There are new pain treatment techniques that have been shown to work better, such as mindfulness meditation, and lower levels of pain meds and other psychological tricks to help transition the mind to the new norm. The brain at first wants to resist and fight the pain. However, accepting the pain as something you can't change helps with the adjustment. Paradigm shifts are psychologically very overwhelming. When you've been told all your life that the system is the best and you're struggling with some parts of it, and then this other outside group comes and tells you that you need to pay attention to their problems because they have it way worse, and then every source keeps talking about your group negatively and pointing out the problems in your group, it can create cognitive dissonance, and the mind will do anything to make it stop, including jumping to conspiracy theories. Even paying attention to the environment and climate change is a massive issue. When you're forced to hear that oil that allows for you a nice Sunday drive viewed as a horrible substance that should now be vilified. Denialism and feelings of persecution are natural reactions for these people. They begin to view the past when they were ignorant of the issues as better, and unconsciously view history with nostalgia as a better time. It took me 6 years to actually care about gay rights, 2 years maybe to fully process and accept all the issues the current feminist movement is fighting for, and maybe about 2 years to get current civil rights issues in my brain. I had a brief understanding of the past grievances, but they were over now, and prior to learning about them, their problems were something I really didn't care about and resisted learning about or listening to them. Being forced to learn or hear about these problems is a serious violation of the social right because the person no longer has a choice if they want civic engagement and being politically aware about other things. However, it is required for change to occur, or nothing will ever change. While the older generation is denying privilege, the younger generation has no cognitive bias because they were given a more accurate picture of the world. The younger generation is much better integrated, and boys are better trained to deal with women in the workplace and be socially connected. And while things are hardly perfect, the change is grindingly slowly getting better. However, our refusal to acknowledge the psychological impact caused by the loss of social privilege just because one group has had it way worse than the other does not take the hedonic treadmill into account and increases the social backlash and denialism that society is plagued with. Hence why the use of the word privilege is such a powerful word. When used carefully to instruct, it can be used for great good, but when abused, it can lead to terrible consequences. It is to our detriment that we ignore these psychological mechanisms when trying to change minds and laws, even though our natural emotional reaction to centuries of injustice is anger and retaliation. Hey there, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you see from my channel, please like, subscribe, and donate to my Patreon.
If you have evidence to counter anything I've said on my channel, please provide it. If you would like to see what I was doing with this channel 6 years ago, please click on the links on the screen. Thank you so much.